These are my top 5 rackets, and you should use them too, because if I was 75 kilos, nobody would ever beat me at tennis. So you may be wondering how I came about these top 5 rackets, and I'm here to tell you it was a very rigorous process. Not really, I just picked up some rackets over the last year, used them all a bit, and just have fond memories of using many of them. Which is interesting, because that's the lasting impression that you get from a tennis racket. How did it make you feel after you finished playing? What's that memory like? In the moment, you can be quite analytical and thinking about how the racket feels, what the balance point is, what the string pattern is, and how that's impacting your game, but ultimately it's about the enjoyment and feel afterwards, and would you like to go back and use that racket again? Now there's some other factors that may come into how enjoyable it was, who you were playing. If I was playing Joe, would have been great because I'd have beaten him easily. If it was Ben, would have been great again, because again, he can't move, he's got a broken back. So I normally have a very enjoyable experience here at PH Tennis, but the interesting bit is the enjoyment factor that comes after you have played. So when I look back through the year, these are the rackets that I had great memories of using, and that's why they're in my top 5. So in at number 5, we have the Wilson Blade. And now specifically, because this is important, it is the Wilson Blade 100. Now, full disclosure, I've only used this racket once. I only used it for about half an hour. And I used it indoors, which I don't really do. But it was magical. The level of comfort and control that you get from a blade with the slightly bigger head, the more open string pattern, it was delightful. Power, spin, control, touch and feel, counter punching. It really offered everything that I love in a tennis racket, and I can't wait to try it again and use it more often. So the Wilson Blade 100, the new one, the version 9, a great frame, and comes in at number 5 on my list. In at number 4, we have our first Babolat entry. You think it's an Aero, but it's not an Aero. It's a Rafa Aero. This is the 2nd generation Rafa Aero, and not only does it look great, it plays great too. Now, there's 2 weights in this racket. Unfortunately, I'm not Rafa Nadal, so I can't use the 317 gram one, because the swing weight is ridiculous. But the Rafa Aero standard, 290 grams, it is a lovely, lovely racket. It's stiff, so you get plenty of access to power. It has some of those kind of aero modular frames in it, so you can get that loads and loads of spin, and because the weight is towards the end of the racket, it's loads of fun, especially when you get given width. You can really whip the racket through a la Nadal, and you can generate loads of depth, loads of power, drive people off the court, and it's a lovely, lovely racket to use.
What do you think about the cosmetic, Josh?
I already said I love the cosmetic. I think it looks great. I think it's a throwback to the old days of Babolat, where with the young, fun up-and-comers. And I think some of their new rackets are coming to become too serious, whereas something like this is out there, it's fun, it stands out, it's exactly the sort of market and sort of brand that I think Babolat should be. In at number 3, we have the first Yonex racket, and again, it's a looker. For a different reason. It doesn't have the bright colours of that Rafa Aero, but it is very sleek. And for Yonex, this is definitely a step up in cosmetic. So this is the new EO 98, and we say new, it's not really. And that's because the old one was so good, they haven't changed it, they just made a black version. And boy is the EO, and this EO 98 specifically, a lovely, lovely racket. Yonex have done a very good thing in this E-zone range, and they've really managed to take a power racket and give it genuine control. Lots of the other power rackets are just all power, no control. The E-zone, especially the 98, because of the smaller head, gives you that control in a power frame. So playing a lot of doubles, playing in quite an aggressive playing style, the E-zone really allows you to hit powerfully, but reining that in and giving you some control as well. It's also really lovely to volley with. So again, someone who plays more doubles, because I'm not currently 75 kilos. If I was, and I was playing more singles, maybe I wouldn't need a power frame. Maybe I'd be to use something else. But as it stands, the EZO 98 in at number 3. In at number 2 is the brand from Japan. It's Yonex, and I'm here now with the VOR 100. Spoiler alert, there is actually a new cosmetic coming to the VOR. So as you can see, the cosmetic matters to me. I want to use a racket that I like to look at, that brings me extra joy when I use it. And this VOR cosmetic, it's okay, but it doesn't do much for me. I'm told the new cosmetic coming out, I think it's July time, is great. I'm seeing it for the first time in a couple of weeks, and I look forward to it. So I'll be sure to let everyone know what it's going to look like. But the reason for this VOR, and the 100 specifically, is it's just probably, well, and in my opinion, hence why it's in my top 5 at number 2, the best all-round tennis racket. This is the racket that no matter who you are, you can't not like it. It offers a bit for everyone, and therefore, to me as a player, it's the easiest one to just pick up and use. It can give you power when you want power, it can give you touch and feel when you need that, it can generate spin when you want that, you can serve with it, you can play doubles with it, you can play singles with it. It's just a great all-rounder, but that's not detracting from its ability to do any of those factors. It actually is good at all those things. It's definitely not a jack of all trades, master of none. It is a almost master of lots. The moment you've all been waiting for. My number 1 racket. It has heritage, it has power, it's blue, and it's French. It has to be the Babolat Pure Drive, the 300 gram version. It is my weapon of choice. Now, why? And it's a simple word, it's power. You can dominate from anywhere on the court, in any situation. You can turn defense into attack, you can smack down serves, you can put away volleys, and once you get used to it, you can also feel yourself around the court. Some people talk negatively about the Pure Drive, like Joe, but that's because he has no feel in his hands. If you have natural feel and natural ability and some talent, you can use the Pure Drive and unwield its power whilst having touch and feel around the court as well. And the more you use it and the more you understand it, it's like a wand in Harry Potter. The racket chooses you, and this Pure Drive has chosen me. And in exciting news for this Pure Drive, there are 2 new cosmetics coming out this year. The Wimbledon version, which is very smart, as you can imagine, and also the limited edition where each racket is uniquely designed, no 2 rackets the same, the 30th anniversary Pure Drive. I can't give too much away, but it is a lovely blue colour, as all Pure Drives are. And then we have a new Pure Drive coming in January. So it's really a Pure Drive year, and it is number 1. It's one of the best selling rackets of all time, made famous by players like Roddick. Nadal even started on it. If you love power, if you have a short, aggressive swing, if you play a lot of doubles, serve volley, looking to shorten points and put the ball away, the Pure Drive is a great option to try. It's my number 1, and it should be yours too. There you have it, my top 5 rackets, and what your next racket should be too. Within that list, you cannot go wrong. Now, all joking aside, rackets are a personal choice. You need to get on court and try them and feel them to make sure you're using the racket that really suits you, your play style, and ultimately, like I said at the start, that you enjoy using. As always, if you enjoyed this video and think that my top 5 is better than Joe's and better than Ben's, then please comment that. We have internal bets in the office about whose video will do the best, so I really hope that you think my top 5 is your number 1 and worthy of the crown of the best top 5 at PH Tennis. As always, please like, please comment, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video. So I like to be dominant, I've got quite a short swing generally. Are you laughing because I said
He said I like to be dominant.
But now let's talk about tennis.
domination. Yeah. I have quite a short attacking swing, quite dominant, play a lot of doubles. you know when something's in your head and all you can think about is the word not to say. So you're just going to say dominant a lot. Good stuff. And once you get used to it, you can also feel yourself around the court.
Jeez,
if you hadn't laughed at dominate earlier, I wouldn't have laughed at that.
Yeah.
Good.